Transgender athletes in women's sports. Former President Trump has vowed to ban it if he becomes president. And Moms for Liberty released a new ad focused on protecting women's sports. Is this issue going to motivate parents to vote in the November election? Joining us now live in studio is Tiffany Justice, co-founder of Moms for Liberty. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us. Great to see you in person.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here in person. Thanks.
Now, with the election down to the wire here, a lot of focus is on what issues will get voters out to the polls. Now, Moms for Liberty, which you're with, just released a new ad on protecting women's or girls' sports, highlighting the transgender issue. Now, how motivating of an issue do you see this in getting moms and also dads out to the polls?
Yeah, absolutely. And this ad was really focused on dads, telling them that it's important to show up for your girls on the sports team in their lives every day. It's important to show up for them on election day too. And we need dads to vote to protect their daughters' dreams. And there are a lot of girls who have dreams of going into athletics and being on athletic teams. And it's absolutely wonderful to see that dads are stepping up and protecting a girl's right to play on a sports team.
And on that note, what are you hearing from parents around the country on this topic?
We're hearing from moms and dads that are really concerned about it. In fact, all of the polling that we've seen shows this is not a partisan issue. I don't know where Democrat candidates and elected officials are on this issue, because there is a tidal wave of evidence barreling down in the United States showing that gender-affirming care is not what's best for kids. Americans do not want boys playing on their girls' sports teams or in their girls' bathrooms or locker rooms. And I think what you're going to see is really a resounding amount of support for any candidate on the ballot who's willing to stand up and protect women's sports.
And when it comes to solutions on this topic, we actually just saw the New York Post reporting on a study that came out earlier this month, which was presented at the UN. It showed that female athletes have lost more than 900 medals to transgender competitors. This is across 29 different sports. Now, how do you see Trump's presidency campaigning for women's sports? What kind of changes will we see under his presidency?
Yeah, well, first of all, it was great to see the UN get something right. They get a lot wrong lately, and so it was wonderful to see the fact that they recognize we have a huge problem here. A woman losing in women's athletics to one man is too many. What do we see in a Trump presidency? President Trump said to me when I was interviewing him that he's going to take a really hard stand on this. He thinks it's absolutely ridiculous that there are men playing in women's sports, and he's going to do everything he can to put a stop to it. Unlike the Biden-Harris administration that issued new Title IX regulations that will use the force of the federal government to require public schools to allow boys to play on girls' sports teams, American parents are not having it.
And Tiffany, you have actually come out and fully endorsed Trump. You have participated in many Trump campaign events. You actually just spoke last night at Madison Square Garden here in New York. What made you decide to get directly in, say, the political arena with Trump?
Yeah, this was actually one of the first campaign events I've done for President Trump to speak, and I was so honored to be able to say the prayer. And it was a prayer about unity, bringing Americans together, hoping for a bright future for our kids. And so, yes, I endorsed him personally. Moms for Liberty only endorses in school board races. You know, local politics are incredibly important, so I really urge everyone to go out, make sure you're voting for school board. But I'm incredibly proud to support President Trump. He signed our parent pledge, and he's made it very clear to me that he stands in defense of our fundamental right to raise our children. So I'll be there voting for him on Election Day, and I just ask every American to vote as well.
Well, Tiffany Justice, co-founder of Moms for Liberty, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me in studio.